Okay, welcome everybody. This is Cards and Coffee with Colleen and Kathy. This is June 2025 edition. We do this once a month on a Sunday every month. It's not necessarily the first, second, third, or fourth Sunday, so you just have to watch my meetup or my social media to find out when that might be as far as the next one. Although at the end, Kathy, I'm sure Kathy will let us know when the July one is because I don't have that handy with me. So what we're going to do and how we do this is Kathy and I talk a little bit first about the collective energies that are going on and affecting the planet and affecting us personally as well. We give a couple of messages just for the collective so that everybody, gets some sort of messages that are going on here. And then after that, we randomly, spirit-led choose a couple of people from the Zoom studio audience to do mini readings for. This is always an hour event, so of course we're not going to unfortunately be able to get to everybody, but please know that even if we're reading for somebody else and it's not specifically for you, that there's often nuggets of information, wisdom, and guidance that will resonate for you. So you can receive messages without specifically being called. I know you all want to be called, or those of you that do want to be called want to be called. But we will do our best to get through as many people as we can. So just a brief introduction of Kathy and I, so you know who we are, if you don't know who we are. I am, again, Colleen Lemma. I am an intuitive reader. I utilize the Akashic Records. I read past lives. I utilize the astrological blueprint, the name vibration, tarot divination cards, all of the clairs, and connecting with your angels and guides to bring forth messages. My website is sacredsoulempowerment.com right now. Soon it'll be colleenlemma.com. So you'll be able to see the new site soon. I also am a healer. I do Reiki healing, Ho'oponopono healing, crystal healing, again, hypnotherapy and past lives. And I teach a lot of classes on a variety of subject matter. And a lot of those are going to be, again, listed in Meetup, listed on my new website. I'm really excited to be here to be able to talk with you today. And I'm going to let Kathy introduce herself. Go ahead, Kathy.
Hi, I'm Kathi Munson. I am a psychic medium, Reiki Master teacher. I have been on this path for 23 years. I do obviously psychic readings, more intuitively, more from soul through soul to soul readings, for your highest and greatest good, of course, always connecting with the intuitive collective, because I'll put it that way. I always say my group. They're the ones that kind of guide through me as to what information you need for you. I also do past lives. I work with spirit guides to teach you how to learn how to connect with your spirit guides, how to do what I do. I'm also mentoring at this point in time to teach what I have learned and how I have connected with the collective. I also do multidimensional healing sessions, Reiki sessions, energetic movement sessions for houses, personal people, places, and things. I'll put it that way. I also work with animals. I'm an animal intuitive, animal communicator. I have a lot. So I'm just going to say I have a lot of tools in my toolbox, is how I'm going to put that. Right now, our website is Intuitive cat spelled with a K, cat, intuitivecat.com. Soon, again, it must be time to like update websites because I have a space called Voices of Enlightenment, and our website is currently being worked on. So hopefully soon that will be coming out. So yeah. And thank you all for being here and giving me the pleasure and the honor to connect with all of you. Thank you so much for that. And of course, my bestie, Colleen, thank you so much for putting up with me for all these years. So I'll just put it that
Please, putting up with you. And we've both been on this path for so long. We're both about 20 to 25 years or something like that doing this. Um, and we do team readings too, by the way. So, afterwards, if we forget to mention that, not only individually, but also we do team readings. But we're going to talk a little bit about these collective energies. So I know Kathy, as well as myself, as well as probably many, many, many of you are very empathic. And right now, we're picking up on a lot of the energies, as always, that are going on the planet. It seems to be kind of magnifying and heightening. There's been quite a few things that are going on lately. And from an astrological standpoint, I'm going to try to keep it kind of simple, but we just had a full moon, right? Not too long ago, a few days, and full moons are about healing and releasing something. In this case, it's in Sagittarius, or it was in Sagittarius. So we're releasing and healing our belief systems, our philosophies about life, and our ability to expand into new and positive new horizons. And regarding that, right now, today, really, it was just not even an hour ago, these two planets came into exact connection with one another. And those two planets are Jupiter and Saturn. So let me explain the difference between Jupiter and Saturn here. Jupiter is about expansion, abundance, prosperity, although he has his shadow side of exaggeration. Saturn is about karmic lessons, restrictions, and limitations, although he has his positive side of restructuring. But right now they're in a challenging connection. So it's almost like this push-pull energy of do we want to expand into this bright, new, and optimistic way of living or being or looking at ourselves in our lives? Or are we going to allow ourselves to kind of contract in a way and fall back into these old patterns and these old belief systems and these old stories, these old karmic lessons that we've been carrying for many, many lifetimes? So, of course, we want to expand into that glass half full rather than sit in that glass half empty energy right now. Um, and that push pull is again kind of going on right now. So, I just a couple of cards here, messages about, that and some of the collective. They really talked about healing the heart chakra quite a bit. We need to really focus on and expand, talking about Jupiter and expansion, expand that heart chakra because that's where the unconditional love, that's where the healing, that's where the self-acceptance, that's where the compassion, that's where all that is going to, be coming from. And if we can expand into that heart chakra, we're going to be able to tip the scale, so to speak, on the collective, like a domino effect, right? And we're going to be able to allow or assist with making this big shift on the planet. Now, in regards to what's going on, in some of the current events, I guess you could say, I picked the Violet Flame card. And the Violet Flame, this is, I don't know, probably can't see that, but it's the unicorn deck. And the Violet Flame is an energy that helps transmute lower vibrational energies. It's a light, an energy that both Saint Germain, the Ascended Master, uses, as well as Archangel Zadkiel, who actually gifted it to Saint Germain. And they use that energy to transmute lower vibrational energies, fears, anxieties, karmic lessons and whatnot. We're transmuting these lower vibrational emotions, feelings, thoughts, perceptions, perspectives, belief systems. And so that is one of the messages that came up for us. So we're expanding our heart, we're transmuting old energies. They talked about awakening our consciousness and getting ready to plant new seeds, both personally for ourselves, but plant new seeds on a collective level to move into this new kind of world that we're looking for. This is a card that is called the world. So we are dealing with some worldly events right now, and they said we have to come up with on a collective level as a people, come up with a plan, come up with a strategy. How do we move forward? And one of the things they said is we all have to move into our higher soul self. Again, that's part of kind of that expansion into the heart chakra, moving into the higher soul self. Let your divine self kind of emerge, your gifts, your talents, your soul's truth. Let that kind of expand out because, again, it'll domino effect so that we all on the planet can uh, come up with new kind of ideas and thoughts and procedures, so to speak, in order to move forward. There's a lot of angelic protection, they said, that's happening for each and every one of us. That's happening for the planet. Got a lot of archangels that kind of come in. They talked a lot about peace, peace and harmony. So again, rather than focusing on fear or focusing on, oh my gosh, what's happening is so terrible, it doesn't mean to ignore it, but focus on the energy, the idea, the vibration of peace. So when we hear about a current event that's going on or see something on the news or social media that's happening, rather than focusing on the tragedy, emanate and project peace to the people and the situation. Project that love, compassion, and peace. That's going to be, what's needed for us to kind of turn things around. I also got from one of my decks. It's called the Goddess Circle, but it's like the Wheel of Fortune in this particular deck. So the Wheel of Fortune, there's something that's changing, there's something that's spinning, turning, transitioning, into something more positive. And again, focusing on glass half full rather than glass half empty is going to bring us to where we need to be. And I think going back to Jupiter, I want to say this is that this Jupiter Saturn thing. Saturn has just recently, a few weeks ago, gone into Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac. So he's implementing or initiating, which is an Aries kind of keyword, this restructuring on the planet. Jupiter, just a couple days ago, went into Cancer. So it's also in a new sign. And Jupiter likes to expand whatever it touches. Now, for the last year, Jupiter was in Gemini, which is a sign that rules the mental realm and thoughts and ideas and all these various kind of possibilities. If you think about this last year, it probably is true for very many of you that there was so many possibilities or options or directions that we could go that it caused a lot of confusion. And
Mhm.
Jupiter was expanding itself into Gemini, which sometimes is a confusing energy because it's changeable. It's like it's changing its mind, it's changing its direction, it's changing its thoughts all the time. So a lot of us in the last year was like, I don't know, should I go this way or that way? Should I do this or that? I'm confused. There's too many, things that are here and just not having that clarity because that's a Gemini sort of energy. But now it's in Cancer, the calm waters of Cancer, the intuitive waters of Cancer, the loving, compassionate, caring waters of Cancer. So now we're going to expand into this energy. We're going to expand in our empathic ability, our intuitive abilities. And one thing they're saying right now is don't forget, they said to say, we're expanding into community because Cancer is a sign that rules home and family and community. So we want to look to how can I develop community or find those people, find my tribe, and then maybe collaborate with these people of like mind to again expand into a more compassionate, loving, healing, and caring world. So I think I'll end it on that and pass it to Kathi.
Okay. There's somebody walking. I'm at my space where I work, and there's somebody walking around the building. So I will try to stay focused and not pay attention to what's going on out there. But yeah, it's interesting, and it's just so in alignment with what Colleen was saying, which is kind of funny, in kind of an odd way. So when I was focusing this morning and focusing about now, and clearly when I woke up this morning, there was this energy. I'm a very sensitive empath, and so there was this energy that I was like, oh, okay, what's going on today? Like something feels very daunting to me, is how I'm going to put that. And I'm always like, let's find the clarity of it so that we can make sense of it so that we can move forward with it. I know right now we are in a time of the universe coming together. I was showing Colleen when we first, before we started that, the very first card that came up, which was a lot of like the wheel that she got. That's what it reminded me of, is the wheel. It's the destiny card, that this is what we chose to go through. All of you chose to be here in this time frame, in this life, for everything that was going, so that you can help and be a part of helping us go to and evolve to where we are meant to go. So just remember that. So when you're hearing, destruction and devastation and things that are happening out there, it's almost like looking, like Colleen had said, focus on the glass half full. It's always like, well, that's going to get us to, this is always my thought, well, that's gonna, what it's going to take to get us to where we want to be. We want to be in a time of enlightenment. We want to be in a time of growing and evolving and finally feeling free. And that's the thing that I keep getting, is to bring love back into the world, to bring love back in and around us, to where we love each other and we work together and we hold hands to be able to create the universe that we're looking for. That's a lot of what they keep bringing to us, is love, love, love. Love will always start with love, and then it will create peace. I'm not surprised. And then it will create peace, because Colleen and I are always like very, very much in alignment. And if you think of now, again, not focusing on what's happening devastationally, destructionally, those things, it is a magical time. There's so many good things that we can be focusing on. There's so many things that we're like, oh, there it is. There it is. So it's like, move the smoke screen, move the smoke screen, move the smoke screen. And I'm like, oh, there it is. There it is. There's the magic. That's what we're looking for. And I'm kind of like, pulling that forward and pulling that, the structure and the strength that we need, the growth and expansion that we need. It's no longer a time to think from here. It's a time to think from here, to think from your heart, like Colleen was saying, to expand through your heart to become truly what you are looking for. I have had more conversations in the past 2 weeks about, I only need to be at work 10 more years and then I can get my pension. I only need to be at work 3 more years and then I can get the golden handshake. And in the meantime, their health is suffering because they're not where they're meant to be. And it's us that comes forward. And I'm kind of, if you ever have a reading by me, I always tell people, do you really want to hear everything? Because once you say yes, I always say to people, buckle up, buttercup, because here we go. You know what I mean? Because again, we
Right.
don't have time for the gray areas. We don't have time for me to blow sunshine up your hoo-ha, because I'm just going to put it that way. We don't have time for that. This is the time where we need to, if you are here to move into an area that you're meant to move into, then that's where you need to go. And that's what we're going to help to guide you to that. It's still your control. I mean, Colleen and I can say things till the cows come home, but you have to put the growth into it. You have to put the move into it. And trust me, I am a big one that can tell you this is not the path that I thought my life would go on until they took away my job, they took away my house, and they took away my husband's job. And then I was like, okay, well, good thing I started doing this because I guess that's what I'm going to be doing now. And that's what I've been doing for 23 years with no safety net, no part time job, no nothing. That's where spirit wants me to be. And we still are growing and evolving. We still are going forward. And that's a lot of where you all are meant to be. You are here for a specific reason, for things that you're meant to do. Doesn't mean we have to know it all today, but to get your foot on the path, get your foot, I don't care if it's a toe, get a toe on the path. Because if spirit wants you to move, it's usually not pretty. It's pretty after the fact, but it doesn't feel so pretty when you're going through it. So I'll just say that. I also got dragonfly spirit, which is about change. That's a lot of what we're going through, which I absolutely love. This card's so pretty. I hope you can see that. Just really pretty. Dragonflies are about change. I also got the oak tree, which I'm a big tree person, so I'll just say that. So I also got, which is about strength. We're going to need a lot of strength to evolve and grow where we're meant to go to. A lot of trust and faith. Trust and faith, trust and faith, trust and faith. Trust that if you are moving toward your path, that it will work. It will grab, it'll shift as soon as you align and kind of piece it out. There's also movement, just our universe. We have to come back. I always think of the Coca-Cola commercial, which is probably one of the worst things to use because Coke is not a great thing. But the one where where they're all holding hands across the world, like that visual is always what keeps coming to me right now. Is we need that. We need to come back and stop judging each other and dissecting each other and hold hands in it. Let's all do this together. We can do this together because that's where we are, is coming back as a collective, coming back and making the United States what it was a long time ago, but evolving into the newness of what it can be and even grow farther than that. That's where we are. It's so funny. I'm here listening to myself say things and I'm like, I know this is so not me. But anyway, but love, 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 because I love you all and I feel glorious and blessed and honored every day to do what I do and help people the way that I was meant to be here to help. And I know Colleen does too, because we've talked about it. So, because I said to her, isn't it amazing? Like, especially now that we've been on doing this for so long, I said to her, it's kind of amazing what we do, isn't it? Some days, don't you just kind of like pinch yourself and say, am I really doing this? Is this really happening? Is this really where we're meant to be? It's kind of fascinating. So I'm saying, join our clan is what I would say. Come on aboard. We'll take everybody. Yeah, we'll help y'all. So yeah, with that, I'm just going to stop because otherwise I'm going to keep on going. And I'd rather connect with all of you personally. So
Two more quick things to bounce off of what Kathi said is as I got a card that says Sacred Self, and you can see that there's wings over the throat chakra, which is about speaking your truth, right? And expressing yourself. But it says to express your gifts. It says to unleash your spirit, express your gifts. And that's what we're here to do. We can't play small anymore. We can't be behind the veil. We need to come out and we need to share whatever our gifts are, and that can be anything. And the last one was that This is the card that says manifestation vortex. And basically the idea or the message here is that thoughts create reality. So again, glass half full rather than glass half empty. We
But
want to
how fun is
create
that? How
reality.
fun is it to be in a manifestation vortex? Like that's where I go. I'm like, woohoo, yay, let's go. Come on, everybody on the boat. Let's go. Yeah,
Exactly.
just how
What
I
about
think about it.
manifestation? What number card is it? Anybody? I don't have the video. Never mind, I'll talk to you later.
We can't really understand you,
Yeah, I couldn't understand.
but sorry. All right. So I am going to introduce kind of the idea of what we're going to do here next. If you're new to this, this is where Kathi and I will choose a couple of people from the Zoom studio audience, one at a time, of course. But if you want a mini reading, just raise your hand if you're on camera or raise your etheric hand if you're not on camera. Let us know that you want a reading today. And also, I will be asking for your date of birth because part of what I do is I like to look at the cycle of energy that you're in. So that helps me to kind of read some of the energy. And I always let Kathi go first. So, Kathi, do you want to choose?
Well, let's see. Let me see. Where do I want to go?
Yeah, I'm not on video. I don't know how to do video.
Geraldine. For some reason, you keep pulling me toward you, so I'm gonna pick Geraldine.
All right,
Thank you.
I
Geraldine.
see her little hand.
Thank you.
What's your date of birth, Geraldine?
October 26, 1968.
And do you have a specific question or focus, or do you want to just see what your angels and guides have to say?
I'll see what my angels and guides have to say.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
interesting because the very first thing that I'm getting about you, Geraldine, because we're just gonna like head right on in there, is I keep feeling this sort of, I keep seeing a tornado around you. That's what I keep saying. Almost like you're standing in the middle and the tornado is like swirling around you, and you're kind of like, okay, this is a lot. Like this is a lot. Like almost like you're like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? And sort of like there's also a time of you trying to figure out like where do I want to go? What do I want to do? Things that I want to do. But there is this sort of, and I always put it the way that I'm getting it. Something about like you being stuck in the shadow, like you being stuck in that time of trying to figure out like where do I want to go? What do I want to do? Things that I want to do. That kind of thing. And then I almost feel like you start thinking about like, well, I'd like to do this, 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 and this. And the more you get in your head, the more it just keeps swirling like that tornado. And then you're kind of like, okay, now I'm exhausted because I don't know what I want to do. It's almost like that overthinking process. Does that make sense to you, Geraldine?
I could take that. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. It's just, yeah. So the interesting thing is that I know that you're working a little bit on where you want to go because I keep seeing that. I feel like you must be doing classes, or clearly Colleen does classes, so I'm going to say that. But I feel like you're sort of like picking and choosing is how they're putting it to me, which is fine. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We're not saying to change that, is I guess what I'm trying to say. But they're also saying that right at this point in time, there's something that you've connected with, something that you've learned, somewhere that you've gone that you want to start to focus more on that. Because when you get to that piece of what you're learning, you're like, oh, I'm so excited by this. Like, so excited by this. I don't know if you've learned how to read the Akashic records, but that's one thing that they're showing me. So if you haven't, highly recommend you do. Colleen, new class for you if you're not already doing it, wherever you disappeared to. Um, um, I just feel like that's part of what will give you not only answers for yourself, but also answers for others out there. Like there's a lot of, I'm sure by now you know you're an empath, you know you're a healer. Is that true?
That's correct.
Okay, just making sure. I always like to make sure that you know that. Um, um, so again, the healing part of it is I do see you doing hands-on healing, but I kind of feel like you've got that covered already. I think you already know what you're doing there. So I'm just going to put it that way. Not that that's not going to expand, but there's something about pulling your voice into that. So that's where I almost feel like the Akashic Records will kind of hone in and give you more of connecting and putting it in there. There's also something about a mindset that you came into this life with, and that something happened. I want to say around 7 years old, 7, 8, 9 is the age that I'm time frame that I'm getting. That something sort of shot you down to where like you closed out, you closed down, you shut down. They're talking about that you have started to reconnect, reopen, reconnect with things. I kind of repeated that. Reconnected things, but but it's almost like you get to that darker side of what you're meant to look at and you kind of pull back, to where like, okay, I'm not ready to that. I don't know if I can do that yet. This is a time where you are very inspired. And there's something about, again, I'm not an astrologist. That's not what I do. But your time frame right now, and again, Colleen probably will add more enlightenment to this. Your time frame, right? There's something about your time frame right now to be the perfect time for you to kind of push through that. Like to just keep going, like go like gangbusters and say, you know what? I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to keep going. Are you writing right now? Because I was going to say you need to be writing also. Only because you need to be writing. Because I'm like, are you writing? Because you need to be doing more of that. Like you need to be doing more of that. There's something about a type of writing that you used to do that you're not doing anymore. And they want you to go back to do that. It's almost like I feel like I teach how to write to your spirit guides. So I'm just say write to your group. It's almost like you need to do that so that you can get more information, more clarity, more alignment. So I don't know if you did that at some point, and again, your version of that, or if you need, but they want you to come back. It's almost like we want you to come back and just do that. And I would highly recommend, because they're showing me this, is don't use the notebook that you use for everything else. Like if you're going to write to them, make it just their notebook. Because I feel like very profound information is going to come to you. I actually will tell you right now, they're going to show you how to get into the Akashic records. Because it's really not that complicated for anybody who's watching. It's not that complicated. It really isn't. They showed me how to get in there, so just going to say that. I never took a class to get in there. So I'm just going to say that for you. I've been very fortunate to have a lot of higher ups teach me a lot of things. So I'll just say that. But there's something like that. Like it's very important that you start listening. Because, and again, I totally get this more than you will even know. When you are starting something, they'll put thoughts in your head and you'll be like, no, oh, that's crazy. I can't do that. Like, I can't do that. And you kind of like push it out. They want you to just start allowing, just allow it. Just allow it for right now so that they know that you're hearing it. Write it down if you need to write it down, things like that. But it's like, it's almost like they keep making me feel like you're pushing them away. You're pushing your team away. The one that you're like, I really want your help. Why are you not helping me? Why are you not here? Why are you not coming to help me? And I feel like it's almost like one of these. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. One of these, like where you're like, come on, come on, come on. But the other hand is like, no, 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 no. So just, I do this a lot. Okay, I am open to receive. When I'm looking for the tougher information, the tougher things, I'm just open to receive. Just please make it clear, is what I told them. Just please make it clear. Because again, it's, we have some tough things that we got to get through. We have some tough things that we need to release. We've all been through it at some point. And so, yeah, it's not the easiest thing to look at, but if we are meant to go in there, and that's sort of like where I got eventually, I'm like, okay, if I'm meant to see this, then I'm going to trust and believe you'll bring it to me and you'll make sense of it. And they have. Not always fun, not always pretty, because I'll just say that. But again, grateful. I'm grateful that they did. Because you don't have to do it alone. You really don't. And you've got Colleen and myself that would help you clearly anytime that you would need. So, and I'm sure there's a lot more people out there that certainly would be welcome to help you. So with that, I'm going to pass it on to Colleen. Let her take over.
And I know exactly what the 7, 8, 9 years of age, the issue or topic is. Because I've been thinking about it. Thank you.
Oh, well, there we go.
Okay, Geraldine. So there, of course, you come in as a Scorpio energy, right? There's a lot of actually this inner wisdom about you. They're talking a lot about this inner wisdom that you need to share with the world. It's almost like a shaman, a sage, someone very, what do I want to say? Grounded and has that kind of wise one sort of energy is what you come in with. So there's a lot of these hidden truths that are kind of within you that you've carried from other lifetimes that is ready to kind of come out and be expressed. It's interesting that Kathi mentioned writing because I felt like a past life that I was tuning into for you was a past life where you were, oh, I don't know what they call them, but those people that would write down like spiritual, information, channel information, the mysteries of life. Like you were the sacred vessel and
A
channel.
scribe.
Scribe, thank you. The scribe for this information, because you were the sacred vessel that was bringing stuff through. And in that past life, because of whatever you were writing about, because of whatever you were channeling, because of whatever came through you, they were showing that you were targeted and I don't mean to be a downer, but you were executed for what you had to share, the wisdom that you had to share. As so many of us out here, that did our healing work or did our intuitive work or helped other people, oftentimes we were hung, buried alive, whatever it was. And so that's what they're showing has happened. And so they're saying it's time to get back to sharing your truth. It's time to get back to writing. It's time to get back to channeling. It's time to get back to expressing your gifts, taking a risk, taking a leap of faith, and sharing that. It's not the same time, it's not the same place as that lifetime. They did show, and I think in the beginning, Kathi said something about, I'm going to paraphrase, but kind of this, a lot of confusing energies or something, she said. And I feel like this month of June is sort of like that. There's like a lot of things happening or going on, either personally or around you, and it's causing a little bit of a need to kind of focus on being grounded and centered. So they said when it comes to like working towards your, like if you're working on a project or working towards, expressing your gifts, it's okay to take a step back. It's okay to take a pause. It's okay to like do some self-care to ground and center because as we move into July, the card I got for you was new beginning. So we're moving into this new beginning next month. Things will balance out next month. You'll be able to move forward kind of in a more grounded sense next month. They were talking about kind of the extended forecast, if you will, and they were talking about this year being one of a lot of organization and need for structure. And again, paying attention to details and taking things step by step as far as your life path, your life purpose, your career path, your destiny path. This is also a year for you to take back your power, maybe from that past lifetime experience, or maybe from situations or relationships that are in your life. So we're owning our power and we're focusing on how do I empower myself as I move forward on my destiny path. But I will say that within a couple of years from now, of course, it starts now if you choose for it to start now, or it's already started. But as we get to, I want to say 2027-ish, there's like this whole brand new beginning. It's like next year, I feel like is going to be a little bit easier maybe than this. And when I say year, I mean your birthday year. So until October. So there's going to be a little bit more ease of flow next birthday year. But then after that, it's like, okay, it's time to kind of come out. It's time to be a leader. It's time to initiate. It's time to birth a new beginning. And you're birthing it along the way, but it's really going to come out and be seen. They said that you have to have a little bit more patience. So that makes sense with what we're saying. A little bit more patient, but be persistent and be determined because you're going to get to where you want to go. And then with Scorpio energy, oftentimes, and I have a pretty heavy Scorpio emphasis in my chart in some different ways. I'm not a Scorpio, but I have some Scorpio energies. And they can often attract other people's energies. You're like a magnet, to other people's energies, which isn't always good energies, let's say. So we have to learn psychic protection and we have to learn how to pull cords and to bring healing to ourselves. And they gave me this a vision, I guess, of you surrounding yourself in this cocoon of white light. We can always talk about the white light, surround yourself in the white light, but it was like this cocoon of white light and oneness and unconditional love and compassion that they want you to visualize surrounding yourself in when you get a chance, every day, if that's possible. And that's going to help to, again, clear your energy vibration so that this new beginning that you're trying to birth becomes a little bit easier. But you're definitely planting some new seeds. I got new beginning here with this card. I've got from a different deck It says planting something new with this card. So there's definitely some new energies that are coming in for you. So I think that's about all I got. They definitely want you to, again, express your gifts, whether it's through writing, speaking, teaching, or channeling. Um, and I'm really excited for you as you move forward. Okay.
Thank you so much, ladies. I appreciate you. It
Great.
resonates.
You're welcome, Geraldine. Thank you. All right. So I guess it's my turn to choose somebody, huh? Let's see here. I am going to pick. Hmm. Where am I going? I feel like I want to go to Erin O'Connor. Erin, if you want to unmute yourself and give me your date of birth.
Good morning. My date of birth is 4/17/73.
4/17/1973. And do you have a specific question or concern, or do you just want to see what your angels and guides have to say?
Angels and guides, please.
Okay, great, Erin. All right, Kathi, you're up.
Hi, Erin. It's funny. I was just looking at her, like I was just kind of scanning with my eyes, and my eyes had just landed on you, and then she picked you. I was like, oh, well, there we go. So it was kind of funny, which doesn't surprise me with Colleen and I. So I'll just say that. It's interesting. I always tend to focus on like while Colleen is connecting with the person. I always tend to focus on the next person, whoever is chosen, whether it's me choosing or somebody else, and just kind of like leave it to my guides. And the biggest thing that I started to get for you is that your intuition is becoming on point. The only thing is that you doubt, 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 doubt. So it's sort of like, like they might say, see the woman in the grocery line next to you. I love when my guides do stuff like this. And I'll be like, I'm not really doing that. I just want to get out of here. Like I just want to get out of here. It's just what I'm telling them. And so I'll just like randomly look while you're standing there and giving you information about that person. You're like, I don't even know this person. Why are you telling me about this? I don't know this person. Things like that. Or somebody will be talking to you and you're getting those hits, but start paying attention to them. It's not always that we're meant to just like blabber. I'm not a big one for that. That's not how I like to do things. And I get a lot of I've been talking to spirits, your loved ones on the other side since I was a kid. So I'm not the type that'll be like randomly in a grocery store going, oh, your mother's here. Like that's just not how I do it. For me, it's just not what I would prefer to do. So I'll just put it that way. For me, I respect spirit way too much. I feel blessed and honored to be able to do what I do. So I take it very seriously for me. Anyway, um, it's a lot of that. So we're not telling you to like randomly just start spouting out to people like the information you're getting, but start a notebook for yourself. It's kind of funny. Writing's, I have a feeling, going to be across the board today. It's going to be one of those things we'll probably tell everybody to do. Get a notebook for yourself and just kind of like put the date and the time, because sometimes also you'll notice like I'm a full moon girl. You'll see me moonbathing before you'll ever see me sunbathing, because that's just me. Like I'm out there, oh, howling to the moon, singing to the moon. Yes, my children think I'm crazy, but again, they do the same thing now. But anyway, I love that energy for me. So those cycles will start to tell you, like you'll start to notice, like, when am I heightened? Why was I really heightened today? Like I got a lot of information today and it was a little bit overwhelming for me today. And you'll start to, if you look astrologically, if you look at what's going on energetically, all of those things will help you to sort of kind of get to know yourself on a better scale, if I can put it that way. Um, there's also, it's funny because as much as I want to say your third eye is expanding, because I keep getting your third eye, because mine is buzzing right now. Your third eye, I keep getting your root chakra, like, but you got to ground yourself. You got to ground yourself. You got to ground yourself. But the interesting thing is that, and I'll be the first one to tell you, when people work on me energetically, they're always like, oh my gosh, it took me forever to get me grounded. And I'm like, well, it makes sense to me because I'd rather be here. I'd rather be here than here, than here, that kind of thing. So it makes sense to me why people have a hard time grounding me. But for you, it's grounding in a different way. It's almost like you can get yourself grounded in that way, but it's almost like grounding through your psychic ability. Like you need to ground yourself through your psychic ability. So almost grounding yourself to your third eye is what I keep getting with that, so that you can expand even better and clearer, because sometimes random things will come and you'll be like, I have no clue what that means. Like, I don't know what you're doing. I'm a little like, I always joke and say, and again, no offense to anybody on here, I always joke with my clients and say, welcome to psychic ADD, because I literally go from here to here to here to here because I just go where they want me to go. So sometimes it can feel like a mashup, like a Reader's Digest version of everything. So yeah, your past life, you were so profound in your past life. You were so profound in them. Like, you're a healer, no doubt about it, but your healing is your voice. It's not that you can't do healing sessions. And the interesting thing is, I don't know if you know Reiki. I highly recommend you learn it, because for you trying to understand your intuition is, people can go, if you're a healer, you can go and take Reiki and it automatically, your healing abilities come out. It makes sense to you. It does that. And some people will come in who are starting to be intuitive and they don't understand it. They're afraid of it. They don't want to get too much information. I don't want to know too much about people, those kinds of things. And by doing the energy, what it does is, once you're in someone's energy and they've given you the permission to be there, you are the closest to anyone you will ever be, ever be. And that's even if you're in the intimate moments with your partner, you will be closer than that, and they've given you permission to be there. So you're going to start to get more information about that person. It will start to make more sense to you. So it's almost like, and I'm going to put it this way, it almost like spirit gets you there to do that, because then you're not thinking like, I don't want to do this. I don't want all that information. Like, it'll just come to you. And they start to teach you through that process. It's almost like coming in through the back door is kind of what it feels like to me. So I'm just going to put it that way. But again, everyone's different. Everybody's different when they start to learn. And it definitely, I will tell you, I learned Reiki right at the beginning of when I came on this path. I was very blessed and honored to be told I was a healer. I had no clue about anything that I was then. And literally within 2 weeks, I started taking Reiki, because he said, just take something that speaks to you. I'm like, okay. And I did, and I knew it, and you will too. Any healing that you take, you're going to know it. You're not going to know how you know it, but there'll be a thing in your mind going, oh, that's why I do that. Oh, I totally get it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's going to just, what it does is it reconnects you and it opens the door. And then your intuition is going to be on point. There's something about you trying to get yourself into a place that you're not meant to be yet. So I don't know if you're taking classes that may be too advanced or overwhelming, because I'm just going to put it that way. It's almost like your timing is a little bit off there. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm not taking any classes right now that I can think of, but maybe that means something else. It's interesting what you said though, because I'm a therapist by trade, and I've always been able to, like, especially when I worked with young children, to feel the trauma. And that's honestly why I had to kind of take a step back from that, because I had my own children then and I needed to focus there. But I could always feel, like, almost physically. And I thought that was just something that everybody who's a therapist does, but I don't get that feedback in the same way. So it's interesting that you said that, because I would have never seen that for myself, that I have an ability.
You're still going to be a therapist,
That's
just in a totally different way.
Yeah, right.
And I will tell you one thing that, as you were talking, that comes because they never stop. You might want to look, once you learn Reiki, if you choose to learn Reiki, because I'll just say that if you choose to learn Reiki, if you don't learn Reiki, they're going to guide you to something else. So I'm just going to tell you that. But again, once you choose to go down that path, something's going to come to you to where you're either going to be working as a Reiki death doula, because I'm going to put it that way, to where you're going to understand the transition process. You also have mediumship, and you have a lot of tools. You're a little like me, so I'm just going to say that you have a lot of tools in there that you have no clue. But you becoming a therapist sort of started the alignment for you, sort of started that path for you, even though you had to back away, and that's fine, perfectly understandable. But that makes sense for what I was saying in some ways, that it was too much too fast. Like, you weren't ready for that yet. Mm-hmm. And it's not just children you're going to help. There'll be others. There'll be adults that you're going to help as well. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting, because you're very much in alignment. Like, they want to align you into where you can be. It's kind of amazing. It's going to be amazing for you. I'm just excited for you. Like, I don't want to give you too much, because I think it's going to be too overwhelming for you at this point, but get back in. Okay. Get back in and start taking things. Take things that make sense to you here, not so much here.
Okay.
Okay. Or even if you connect with the person, kind of go like Colleen, she's amazing. Like, anybody would connect with Colleen. That's what I feel anyway. If you like really connect with her on some level, then go in and look and see what she's teaching.
Okay.
because you would trust the process. And some things will make sense to you. Some things will be like, oh, that sounds exciting. I want to learn that. And some things you'll be like, I don't think I'm ready for that yet. And that's okay. But
Mhm.
that's what you want, is you want that excitement. When you go to look at classes and you want to learn something, that's what you want, is the excitement. Don't go too far into thinking. You're on that path, like that in between path of being the rational brain and what I call the holistic brain. So there's part of you that'll go, well, how can I make a business out of that? Don't think that way. Like, don't even go into that, because it doesn't matter. It's the joy of taking the class and the excitement that you want. Trust me,
Okay.
they'll
I,
align you.
I do get too rational, so.
Yeah, you're on the path of starting to, like, they want you to let some of that go. Doesn't mean that we can't ever think again. That's not what it means. But they want you to kind of, like, it's time to not think. It's time to do. It's time to open up the intuitive side of who you are.
Thank
So
you.
yeah. And with that, I'm gonna let it go to Colleen.
Okay, Erin. Well, you are an Aries, correct?
Yes, I
So,
am Aries.
they're talking about this Aries drive, this Aries leadership, this Aries entrepreneurial energy that you have. But you already said it before I did. You've got quite the active mind. Like there's always stuff going on in the mind, new thoughts and ideas, and sometimes it's a little overwhelming. And sometimes you need to like just really ground your mental body energy, because it can get a little bit anxious sometimes because there's so much going on up there. You probably ruminate sometimes on things, or you probably overthink things sometimes. Maybe you have even some trouble sleeping at night because of that. However, you come in with this energy, your soul vibration comes in with this energy that they're saying, although Aries is usually like the warrior, it's like, let's choose a path and let's like move forward on it, and just kind of stay direct on it. Even though you have that Aries vibration, they're saying that this is a lifetime for you to not peg yourself in to like just doing one thing or only doing one thing. It doesn't mean you can't stop doing what you're doing, but I feel like you need to take in and do like add things to it, or learn new tools, or just kind of like be able to wear many hats in a sense. So, your soul will get bored if you do the same old day in and day out. Again, it doesn't mean that you don't be a therapist and do what you do, but maybe you change up the routine, or maybe you change up the process, or, something like that, to where there's always like these changes and transitions and redirections, or adding new things kind of going on, because your mind, and your soul kind of needs that. Now, you just had a birthday, so happy belated birthday. And you went into a birthday cycle that deals with growth and expansion, and expanding into abundance and prosperity, expanding into success and recognition. This can also, though, on the shadow side, because with anything, there's always a light side and a shadow side. The shadow side can be expanding into what do I want to say? Like that nervous energy, or expanding into um, catastrophic rather than glass half full energies, and that keeps coming up again and again for everybody here, is like looking at the glass half full, and putting your focus on what it is that you desire to create with an optimistic attitude. This is actually also a year to focus on your belief systems, and again, shifting those belief systems. They said it's a time of blessings. So again, this abundance and blessings are there for the taking. I got the sun card for you. This is actually not a tarot deck, but it's a divination deck. But the sun, to me, whether it's tarot or divination, is success, recognition. You can see the sun shining. This person's like, here I am, world. And again, they're standing in this like cup of life, with growth around them and flowers. Yes, exactly, like Kathy's card. And so this can definitely mean about an expansion in your career in some way. This also, and I heard you say something to Kathy, although I was in my own kind of world, getting messages for you. But I heard you say something to Kathy about not taking classes right now. This could be a birthday year where you want to maybe do that. You could take classes, you could take, go to a workshop, learn something new, read something new. It doesn't mean you have to actually go to a class, but reading on new things, again, those tools that you want to add to your tool belt. So I think you got some really good things coming here with this sun card. They said you are as we all are, but they wanted to remind you that you're the creator of your own reality. And they showed me the magician. I got the magician card. So again, you're using all these various tools that you have. And if you need more tools or you want more tools, go out and get them, go out and find them, because you're using those tools to create the success that you want. They did talk a lot about releasing karma. You're going through this big kind of transformation, regeneration, karmic release of old energies or old situations or old belief systems. In fact, earlier for the collective, when I showed this card, the violet flame, for everybody and talked about Saint Germain, the ascended master that uses the violet flame. Well, you got this specific card, even though I put it back in the deck, obviously, and shuffled it, we got this card for you. And then we also got Saint Germain, who uses that violet flame energy. So they really want you to use that violet light. So imagine like that amethyst colored violet light energy. You close your eyes, you imagine that it's around you, and it's transmuting all of these lower vibrational negative karmic past lives or old belief systems or stories that we tell ourselves that hold us back, like I'm not good enough or I don't know enough or whatever it is. We're cleansing all that away with the violet flame. And from the same deck that I got Saint Germain, and it says at the bottom, if you can't see it, karmic releasing. I pulled another card and it said Dharma unfolding. So you're releasing the karma and you're unfolding with your Dharma, your path, your truth, where you're meant to go. They said it's time to clean up again any old emotions, clean up any, again, old thoughts or belief systems. So we're talking about emotional and mental body clearing and healing. And they're saying too, if you want to clean up your physical space, like if there's any little piles of chaos going around somewhere, it'd be a good time to organize that, because as we cleanse and clear physically, emotionally, mentally, it leaves more space and room for something new. They gave me the karmic scales of justice as well. So that to me is karma rebalancing, rebalancing old karma from other lifetimes. And again, moving into your dharma, like they said before. And also going back to the cleaning up of karma, they said something about the family tree, the family line, your ancestry. So, if there's something from father, or mother or father side of the family that, is something, a belief system or something that's carried forward that you as a soul have chosen to kind of take on to heal and clear. We're needing to do that now. We're needing to focus on what is that. We can go back, in time in our own family line or tree to kind of clear that. But there was a dual message, they said, with that, with the family tree. They said this is also about calling in your ancestors, and whether that be family ancestors to assist and guide you on the next step of your path now, or whether this be spiritual ancestors like other lifetimes, and those, again, ascended masters or goddesses or priestesses of other lifetimes that you may have lived. You can call forth their powerful energy as well, because that's going to assist them, assist you with bringing forth what you desire. Now, I feel like this month of June is closing out a chapter of some sort. Maybe it does have something to do with family stuff or the emotional body and mental body stuff that you're clearing. July is a new beginning, but it doesn't quite manifest yet. It's like a new beginning in your mind, a thought, something that you can plant a seed with. Um, but when I get to August, I feel like August is expansion into power, expansion into business, expansion into prosperity and abundance. There is a focus on you as a light worker, kind of, again, shining your light just a little bit stronger, a little bit brighter, like the sun card here, like the Dharma unfolding here with its sunny golden yellow light. So that's where you're moving into. And I feel like by August, and they're saying again in September too, August and September should be really good with that expansion. All right. Oh boy. All right. Well, I'm seeing what time it is, and I know, Kathi, you have another engagement, right?
I
Yeah.
do. I
Okay.
want to do one quick thing though, if that's okay,
Yes.
because Philip, I've got a message for you. So I know I have a feeling your hand was up at some point for a reading. Are you open to hearing your message? It's going to be a very quick message, but however. Hello. You have to unmute yourself. And if you don't want to hear it, that's fine. Are you there? You unmuted yourself, but I still can't hear you.
He put
Uh-oh.
yes in the chat.
Oh, he put yes in the chat.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, whoever saw the chat, because I'm not looking at the chat either. I'm looking at him. I know that you're going through something right now because I keep getting that over and over again because you were going to be my next person I picked, but I wasn't really looking at time, so I'm going to say that. But what they keep saying is just hang in there because I feel like you know where you want to go. It's so funny because what came up to you was as what came up for you was an owl. Owls to me are incredible, incredible creatures. They can see so clearly in the dark. And that's what I want to say is that the more you keep staying in alignment with yourself and just allow yourself to see, because that's how I'm going to put it, the better you're going to be. So pay attention to the truth, even though it may not feel that great. But truth is very important for you now. And I feel like you're really craving truth. Like you want the truth. You don't want to be in the shadows anymore. You want the truth because that's what I keep getting for you. It's going to come. So hang in there because they know that you're working it is what I want to say. You're working it and that your alignment is coming. And I know you can feel that. This is when the patience time, all of us are like, oh, patience. Oh, because none of us really like patience, especially when we can feel like something good is coming. It is definitely coming. So keep chipping away. They kind of show me you like with a like a little pick going chip, 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 like chipping stuff away. So I just wanted to give that to you because I just feel like you are in such a major awakening. They literally also showed me a phoenix, which is funny because I actually have a card, so I'll show you the card because it's a beautiful card. So it almost feels like you're pre-burning right now, like you're on fire, but it's not moving quick enough. Does that make sense? Just nod your head. Yeah. Or whichever way you want to nod your head. But I kind of feel like hang in there. You've got this. And it's going to be so incredibly magical when you get past it. So I always see myself like when speed bumps come up, I'm like, oh, another speed bump. And I always feel like sometimes you have to vacillate on the speed bump until you figure it out. And then the energy is going to get going and it's going to be like you're going to be soaring. You're going to be soaring. So you're like so close, like you're so there. So hang in there.
And
All right.
I'll give Philip one last little quick message too, since you did, Kathi. I put my details in the chat, Kathi. So while I'm giving Philip his little message
Oh,
here,
okay.
you can go ahead and put yours in the chat.
Sure.
But what I got for you, I can't remember what totem Kathi just got. Did you say owl?
Owl.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got the snake for Philip.
Ah, love
So
that.
so snake is about transformation energies. You're going through a death and rebirth kind of energy and this transformation energy. And the message was about it's like rising into your deep inner truth because the snake would be this deep, kind of energy, almost like that ancestral energy that we talked about. So this deep inner truth is kind of rising up within you. So honor your gifts and honor that energy within you. They said the steps are being given for you. So have a little bit of patience and look for the messages, the synchronicities, because they are giving you guidance and they are giving you the next steps. You might have to have, again, a little patience. And part of that is going through that death and rebirth process. You're kind of shedding these old layers of energy right now that you don't need before you're able to like fully accept and have the awareness of the new energies that are coming forth. So, yeah, there's something very transformative that's going on with you right now. And they kind of like show me the throat chakra, the heart chakra, and the third eye, a lot of those, even the crown. I mean, all these upper chakras are kind of being lit up for you right now. So I think you're sloughing off some of, and we all in the lower chakras, right? Our sense of security in the root chakra, our sense of the divine feminine energy of receptivity in the sacral chakra, our personal power in that solar plexus chakra. We're all like sloughing off old energies and challenges and bringing healing to those lower chakras. But those upper chakras are being activated for you, Philip. So I think that's a very exciting message for you as well. And thank you all so much for tuning in. Kathi and I appreciate you so much. Kathi and I put our details of how to connect with us in the chat if you want to reach out, and ask about, what we got going on. Sending you all lots of love and light. Stay balanced, stay rooted, stay secure within yourself, open your heart. And I'll let Kathi say her closing words.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the blessings and the honor of connecting with all of you. I did put my information in the chat. Please don't feel like you have to go through this alone. Like both Colleen and I, you can message us. You know, my phone number is everywhere. So I'll just say that you can text me, call me. I don't want anyone to feel like they're alone. I do know how to set my boundaries well, though, so I will forewarn you of that. So, yeah, because I worked really hard on doing that because it's not easy for me. But again, we're always here for you. You don't have to be alone. I know both of us are very accessible, very reachable. So please be well. Think of the positive, find the sunshine in everything, and find the rainbows because they are there.
Blessings, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Oh, and make sure to watch for the next
July
Cards and
13th.
Coffee. July 13th. Great.
July 13th.
July 13th, we'll see you.
My birthday weekend, so that's how I remembered it.
Oh, yay. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.